Hi, I'm Steve Erickson from the midlifesolopreneur.com.
And I'm Jake from flowcampaigns.com.
So in this short form podcast, we give an update on what we've been working on for the day so you can follow along with the progression of the midlife solopreneur journey. We also share helpful tips and strategies so you can implement in your own solo business. And so, Jake, what is the day today and where are we at in our progression here?
Yeah, so this is day nine of the podcast, and today is August 4th.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and where we're at today, so pretty busy day today. So we had week 4 of the Midlife Solopreneur course.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think that went today?
I think it went really well. I got good feedback from the participants, and I think I shared some insights in new ways that I hadn't thought about before, and I think it was good value. Today was all about how you actually construct your coaching offer. What is it you need to think about? How's the progression of the journey that your prospects and your clients will be taking with you? What is it you're trying to solve for them, and how do you construct a coaching offer that helps the prospect or helps your client along the way from the pain they're experiencing to having a solution that's going to work for them? So, I think it was a really good session.
Yeah, and I really liked how you laid out some different methods for working with your clients and some different, essentially, working styles with them. So, on the lower end, it's really, it's kind of like you provide a standalone course for your clients to learn from, but there's very little interaction with you. And then on the other end of the scale, you have, you're really hand-holding, working with them, very hands-on. And along that spectrum, you obviously have different levels of pricing, different levels of engagement, different levels of, kind of back and forth, in terms of accountability and in terms of, really interaction and support along the way. And I think it was a very good lesson to outline kind of what the spectrum of different options are and what you need to know for each of those different styles.
Absolutely. So at the lower end, we have a course where you are just simply providing a course. There's no support, there's no accountability. And as you're going further up, you are increasing the support and accountability until you come to the done for you, where you're actually removing a lot of the support and accountability because you are actually doing it for them. And then we discussed the different pricing levels for that and how you would be looking at actually constructing the offer. So all in all, I think pretty good.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
And what would you like to share with us today?
So we've been continuing to work on the upcoming summit. That is the Solopreneur Accelerator Summit, which we have planned for the 31st of August. And right now we're still looking at confirming our speakers. Mm-hmm. And we have several people who have mentioned they want to do it, but I think we need to get a firm commitment now from them, actually setting up the calendar system so they can book their slot in. So we're ready and confirmed for that date.
Yeah, would I just add that we have several that are confirmed to be coming. It's just a question of getting the paperwork to sign them up and saying officially they're coming, as opposed to just the conversation.
The verbal conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's actually what I've been working on for a lot of time today, other than supporting for the course, is coming up with some of this paperwork, detailing out what the agreement will look like. And, while it's not a very legally binding contract with a lot of terms, it's good to have a document that lays out the expectations for us as hosts and also for the speakers as, presenters to an audience, kind of, what we recommend in terms of a presentation style, for instance, when it comes to marketing the summit, what, some requests for that would look like. Really the success of a summit and the marketing success comes from a joint effort with all of the speakers. I think a lot of the engagement model is, if everyone emails
everybody pitches in.
Everyone pitches in. It's kind of a joint effort here. All the speakers are providing a lot of value, and if you're speaking at a free summit, you obviously want to be able to tell your list as well, hey, I'm speaking at this event, you should come check it out. Absolutely. And really, that's a group effort there. Yeah. So been working on that paperwork, and actually the tip that I wanted to share for today was this. While I've been writing this paperwork, a lot of it was not done from scratch. And we've actually been using a template based off of what someone else has provided in a swipe file, it's called. So essentially a swipe file is a file that you can use and repurpose for your own marketing efforts. And the tip really for today is don't recreate the wheel and start from scratch, something that you can, get a head start with repurposed content. And we're not saying here, steal from anyone else. We're not saying directly copy, But there are many instances where someone will say, here is a template that you can use. Feel free to edit it and fit it to your style as you wish. And that's a great way to get started, knowing that someone else has put in that initial work to get things along the way. And then, it's a lot more of filling in the gaps that are specific to you rather than thinking, how do I start this sentence? What are the different elements of this email that I need to plan out? A lot of that groundwork is there done for you. And really from there, that gives you the flexibility to add and change as needed.
Absolutely. And yesterday, in fact, I bought myself a sequence of email templates. So these are emails that are, how can I say, they're pre-written, but fill out the blanks. So they give you a structure to follow and makes it very easy to come up with your own emails. But the way they're written is that they will start something like, hey, today I had a thought, and this thought is X, the blank. And you have to fill in what is the blank. And, when I was contemplating this, I had some insights. And here's my insight number 1, blank. And you can then fill out. But what they're doing is they're giving you they're fleshing out what email would look like. So you don't have to battle with the structure of what do I need to do first? How do I introduce the idea? How do I do all of these things? And they're also giving you an idea of what you need to do on a weekly basis. It was actually 2 years worth of content, like 1 email a week, or you can send it out more often. But the great thing is about this is that it becomes uniquely yours, even if you're using a template.
Absolutely.
And it has to be yours. You can't copy and paste from somebody else. But it provides a framework, a structure that you can follow. And that's actually something I talked about in the coaching call today in the course, is that you've got to have a structure. And I'm a big proponent of having structure.
We mentioned it on the podcast yesterday.
We did. Yeah, exactly. Because we were talking about today, weren't we? So this kind of thing, when I saw this email package that was being offered, I thought it's fantastic because it gives me the structure of what I need to do with my content for my emails.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind, I have structures when I want to do a launch, and I have structures when I have certain things I want to do. And then you have the weeks in between when you have nothing else and you're going, what am I going to send out that is engaging and keeps them interested about?
Absolutely. Because what you don't want to do is, have one product launch or an event and then, have radio silence for the next 3 months until your next thing's ready. You want to be able to stay top of mind for your prospects, still provide some value throughout the time, but coming up with a new topic to email about every week can be difficult.
Yeah.
And I think this is a great example of actually the 80-20 rule. There's a concept called the 80-20 rule where 80% of your results will come from 20% of your efforts. And you can kind of see the same analogy in a lot of different areas. And, that 80-20 is not a hard number. It's, really explaining the concept that a small part will deliver the most value. And where that applies to the email is that the small parts that provide the value is the parts that you're filling in.
Yeah.
The parts that don't provide the value, it's actually the structure of the email. It's saying, today I did, that those actual words are not the parts that are providing value. So if you're able to get those done for you and save the time doing that, you can really focus on the part of the email that does provide the value, which is the thoughts and the insights. And you're not having to worry about, how do I create an email that delivers those thoughts and insights in the right way?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That makes total sense to me. Yes. Hope it made sense to you as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's it for today. We have shared some tips and we have shared what we've been working on today. So
yeah, that works for me. Do you actually want to share the email pack that you got? So provide a link to people if they want to check it out as well.
Absolutely. In the show notes, you'll find it. Or if you're just listening to the podcast, go to midlifesolopreneur.com and I will make sure that there is a link to that on the homepage. So that's midlifesolopreneur.com. Okay, so we're just interrupting this program to say one little thing. I was going to give a URL and I gave the wrong URL. Instead of going to my homepage, basically go to midlifesolopreneur.go/email templates. That's midlifesolopreneur.com/go/email templates and we'll take you straight to the resource. And Jake, do you want to share your website as well, just in case somebody's interested in checking you out?
Sure. Yeah, I have my website set up at flowcampaigns.com. And on there, you can actually find a resource guide for the resources that, the resources that I recommend for setting up a sales funnel. So right now, it actually just has a list of recommendations and software that we personally recommend. We've used And you'll find links to the different services there, and really kind of shows you, what our recommendations will be. And I think, a big question that we get is, people have heard about different software. They're not really sure necessarily what it does. And if there are, several pieces of software that will do the same thing, for instance, ActiveCampaign and ConvertKit will have very similar functionalities. We have a preference, which is actually ActiveCampaign that we recommend. And just by providing this resource guide, we can the hope is that we can point people in the right direction, say, out of all the testing that we've done, here's the ones that we think are best. And as we discover new software, for instance, we've been working with this Summit software, Big Marker now, we'll update that resource guide as we go along as well. So we hope that's a valuable document to really get started and kind of see, where to go to get that software and not have to worry about, I have these 5 different options, which one do I choose? Because, that can be the hardest decision at times. Really, you want to be able to select one quickly and then learn how to do it really well, rather than trying a lot of different ones and switching between them. Because it comes to a point where the benefits of switching software is less than the cost of actually doing that switching.
Absolutely. There's so many times I've helped people with switching software and the cost has been immense compared to going with the right solution in the first place.
Exactly. So hopefully this resource guide will help you get more targeted and know what it is you need to be using in your business as well. And of course, if you have any questions about any of that, we're happy to help along the way as well.
Absolutely.
Cool.
All right. With that, thank you very much, and look forward to continuing to share our journey with you, and see you tomorrow.
Great. See you tomorrow.